Meet your next pillow. Why do we make our pillow? Meet your next pillow. Why do we make our pillow? Meet your next pillow.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Okay. All right. Okay, looks like just a slight bit of technical difficulty, so just one moment. Please bear with me. Let's see. Audio mixer. Let's see what we've got. Just one moment. We're about to get underway. My mic. Which are we using? Wrong one. Let's see. Sorry, just a smidge of technical difficulties. One moment, please bear with me. Okay, can everybody hear me? Sorry for the delay. We are here today for the Rune Factory 5 launch. Just came out today, brought to us by Exceed Games, who is our Western publisher outside of Japan for Marvelous Games. Rune Factory 5 is actually a spin-off of the original Harvest Moon series, which is now known by its new name of Story of Seasons. So Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons, farming, simulation, life game, with farming, romance, and such. Rune Factory started off as a spin-off with more fantastical elements to it, so therefore it has grown in popularity and the fact that it's had more to do, which includes adventuring. So we're going to go ahead and give this a go. Alright, so thank you for bearing with me. Hello, Melonix. Alright, so we're playing this from the absolute beginning. Excuse me. Playing from the beginning, we'll be covering first couple of hours of the game, produced by Yoshifumi. Let's see, so let's go ahead and dive in. Please bear with me, first live stream in a while, and first time streaming, for seriousness, so a little nervous, so sorry. Alright, let's get going.
Hikari no nai kono meilo no saki kara sasayaku natsu no koe ga eien nante suzuku wake nai darou togireru yo wake mo naku demo kimi no dokoka ni kakusareta yume探してみようか天下無双のやる気を今繰り出して明日へ歩き出そう
How's that? Can you hear me better?
I miss you, I miss you 心だけを信じて空高飛べばいい
How's that?
世界が輝く舞い上がる夢よ果てしない旅へ空の彼方
Sorry, also testing a new setup. Just got a new microphone, so working with that.
Rune Factory 5.
Melonix, can you hear me? Is that better? Huzzah! Again, sorry. New setup, working with some new equipment as we can see, so. Oh, thank you! Alright, so let's get into the way, and if you hear some banging around in the background, I apologize. My dog's just as excited about Rune Factory as I am, so I apologize for any background noise you may hear. Still a work in progress. Okay, so we're here on the start screen. Very pretty, very detailed, nice and lush. I know a lot of people, from what I've been hearing most of today, have not been all too keen on the graphics style. A lot of people comparing it to PlayStation 2 graphics or whatnot. I think for a first attempt on the Switch in full, I think it looks actually pretty spectacular. So, let's not play the whole start scene again. Alright, let's see. Okay, so we're going
Rune
to
Factory
start.
5.
So very excited. So let's get this underway. As you can see, because I have the special edition, I managed to get some of the outfits from Rune Factory 4's marriage candidates from that game. Oh hey Trey, thank you for joining. You, Aya here. So happy to see you. Again, forgive me for being an awkward little nerd today, but we're gonna give this a go. So I've got some of these outfits as a result of getting the special edition. So we've got Keel, Margaret, Doug, Dillis, Zhao Pai, Amber, Leon, Dolce's companion Pico, and also as a special bonus they gave costumes for the male and female protagonists of Rune Factory Tides of Destiny, which was a Wii game if I recall correctly. Never got to play it, but that was definitely a fairly well-loved game from what I've seen in the Rune Factory community. Alright. Okay, so let's dive in. And just as a warning, because I want to support the efforts of the English voice actors, we're going to play with the English voices, okay? Oh, thank you for the compliment. Still getting used to using Streamlabs and whatnot, so thanks. Aw, thank you. I know you've been playing, Trey, so I hope you've been enjoying the game as well. Hope you're pursuing your favorite bachelor, your fur daddy, which I know you've been talking about for quite some time. Alright, so here we go. As with the last game, there are 12 bachelors and bachelorettes that you can potentially romance in the course of the game. 6 men, 6 women. One of the things that makes Rune Factory 5 so special, it's the first game in the series to openly include same-sex couples, which fans had been clamoring for a while. We managed to get same-sex marriages in the last Story of Seasons, Pioneer of Olive Town. So finally we have it in Rune Factory. In Rune Factory 4, there was a slight workaround, which included you played through the game once, and then when you got to the end and started a new file, you could use sort of a skin. It was kind of like a cheat skin of sorts to give yourself the appearance of the opposite gender, but you would still have like feminine or male pronouns depending on which gender you were portraying. So if you were like the girl and used the male skin, then you would still be addressed as a girl in all of the cutscenes, even though you had a male skin on it. And vice versa for females. Alright, so here we go. We're at the start. I chose the female character. Officially her name is Alice, but as with pretty much all of these games, you are allowed to choose your character's name. Alright, so we're starting with basic tutorials, choosing the weapon. I'm so used to playing in handheld mode for games like this that it's going to take me a moment to adjust to using the Pro controller. So again, just bear with me. Alright. Okay, time for action. controls are pretty simplistic when it comes to battles. It kind of feels more like you button mash when you're using the weapons. But in the course of, but as you progress through the games, you'll pick up learning spells, you'll also learn dodges or special attacks, and so therefore you can, you can kind of somewhat more strategically play out your battles. I'll admit, I more often than not just button mash when it comes to using the weapons. Especially a dual blade user, I definitely love that weapon above all else. But as I recall, it's usually a little bit before you're able to get one. So I usually stick with the short sword because it's kind of like the most versatile of the weapons you can use.
You're hurt.
The little girl is absolutely adorable. Cutscenes as we progress. I love that on the loading screen because it is a little slow with the loads. They do give decent tips to help you with progressing through the game, so you can kind of have an idea. So you're not just stuck looking at a blank loading screen through it all. So I'm double checking how well can you hear the game's audio. I'd like you to be able to hear that as well. I know we're trying to balance me and the mic and the game, but tell me if you can hear the stuff.
You can do it, Priscilla. The heck?
To be fair, I would think the little fox girl kind of would be between Naz and Naruko's
Yay!
child if they ever had one.
Thank goodness.
The cuteness factor is totally there. Okay, so waking up after having unfortunately passed out.
Hey, she's awake. I'll go get my mom.
Her daddy is on the scene. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Trey, here's your man. Come and get him.
Uncle Kumo.
Hina! You okay, kiddo?
I knew you'd be jumping for joy.
You! How can I ever repay you?
Whoa!
So out of
Hey
the
now,
several
what are you doing to my
potential marriage
patient?
candidates, I know he's definitely on my list to pursue, but he's not going to be my first choice. I have one particular individual because it's a particular weakness of mine when it comes to potential husbands for games like this.
Well,
and
I'm here
you
now.
fit the bills, so my first choice will be running into a little later.
I'm this town's doctor, and also its mayor. Call me Simone.
Repay you by letting you smash. Oh, you're funny. You're funny. So how's everybody's day going so far? Or in our case, evening? Or how are you doing? I know it's morning over there where you are, Aya.
No numbness either? Thank goodness. If you don't have any difficulty speaking, then I'd like to ask a few questions.
Okay, so. Oops. Nope. Alright. I think, just because I am highly predictable, Alright, so me being born in August, I am going to go with summer 15 since I am a Leo. No worries, no worries. Sleep is always good, so
I'm really sorry.
yep, I was up for quite a while trying to fiddle with this setup and getting everything ready for today, so I'm a little sleep deprived, but we're
This is
going to
madness.
work through it. I said I was going to do the stream, I'm sticking with it, okay? Alright now.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
Murakumo is absolute bae, though. There is no denying it. He is super sexy. Point blank. No ifs, ands, or buts.
What should I do? What to do?
You're being loud through the screen, Trey. I can hear you. I can hear you through the screen. So, getting through just the basic opening, in which, as is usually the case with most Rune Factory games, protagonist is an amnesiac
Don't be silly.
of
Why
some
not
capacity,
stay at
of
my
some degree.
family's place?
And you're pretty much starting
hey
as
now,
a
what are you
blank
saying?
slate to
Dina's
some degree,
hero is crashing with me.
as you play through, and then building up your camaraderie, your relationship
Absolutely
with
not.
the town, village that you found yourself situated in. I love the fact that Murakumo's like, she's going to stay with me, and I'm like, oh, believe me, I would, if I could. If that was how the game worked, yes, I'd be staying in the inn. But yeah,
What?
usually that's kind of the running plot line when it comes to Rune Factory. Amnesiac, blank slate, starting over in some capacity. Building up your farm, building up your relationships and friendships. I bet you were mad. Building up your relationships, and then also, unlike Harvest Moon, which is pretty much more centric to farming and relationships, you have
Honestly.
an actual plot line regarding, and you get to adventure. You have activities like cooking,
Nuh-uh.
crafting, forging, fishing. Fishing is actually usually fun. I always like to see what I'm getting when I fish. It's usually pretty exciting to see what I'm going to pull up from stream, river, lake, etc. Right, so Lucy just raised the whole issue of whether I'm trustworthy or not, so now we get to go on and assess my trustworthiness before I'm allowed to stay.
Really? Yeah.
Priscilla's kind of cute. I think
Thanks.
when the game was initially marketed in Japan, a lot of people seemed to be drawn to her initially, and she was kind of like the poster girl for the game.
Hey!
But even though I'm going to definitely be pursuing both male and female marriage candidates in the game, because I'm gonna play through several times. I just know I am. She just never really personally struck a chord with me in terms of being desirable. She's adorable, but she wasn't exactly what I was looking for. We'll meet some of the other candidates soon, so I'll definitely be pointing out who's on my list. One thing I wish that the game had was the ability to choose if you wanted the text to auto-progress like some RPGs have in their user interface. Unfortunately, it's not there, so definitely makes you have to pay attention to button presses and keeping up with the prompts on the screen. So this is like the headquarters for Seed while you're here in Rigbarth, which is the name of the town that we're in. There's another headquarters elsewhere, but this is the town's particular headquarters.
Huh? Oh. Excuse me?
And here we have our
Yeah?
lolly captain. Honestly, I was expecting her when I was playing through the Japanese version of the game last year. I was expecting her to be a little more, I suppose,
this one.
spunky.
So she's
I mean,
finally awake.
Still kind of spunky, but she's definitely not as spicy as I thought, as I found Lucy to sometimes be. Lucy being more tomboyish, from my understanding.
Yes.
Yep, this child is the field captain. She definitely is. Okay, so, yep. And here's where we're getting our introduction to the organization.
Honestly.
This town is called Rigbarth. It's kept safe from monsters by Seed, an organization dedicated to protecting people. And the building you're standing in is Rigbarth Outpost, which is also known as the Silo.
Oh, thank you. We all gotta start somewhere, so trying to make the most of my first stream. Hopefully, as I continue doing this on a more consistent basis, I'll be able to be less nervous and be able to find a good balance.
Got
and
it?
Learn more tricks of the trade as I go. Alright, just got that breakdown. So, yep.
No need to thank me.
So, where did you come from? What brings you to our peculiar little slice of the frontier? And that means what, exactly?
Aw, you're too kind. Too kind. Okay.
Oh!
Tutorial does take a little bit, so trying to balance getting through it at a decent pace and interacting. I'll definitely try to keep at it, okay? Thank you so much for the encouragement. I always like to see what characters are going to say. One thing I've always loved about Rune Factory is just interacting with the characters. So enjoyable. Nice to see what's going to pop up, what's going to be said. Some texts that I've seen usually just have me in stitches. There were definitely quite a few laugh out loud moments when I was playing Rune Factory 4 Special on my Switch when that came out. Because I never did finish Rune Factory 4 on the 3DS. Thank you, Aya. Alright, let's see where we're at. Trying not to go through the text too fast so people watching can keep up with it, but also trying not to go too slow. We're not going to burn too much time, just going through. But I thank everybody who's here. Thank you for your support and your viewership. Like I said, was running behind, didn't really get to totally prep the way I wanted to tonight. But gonna take this as a learning experience and be better prepared for the next stream. Which I'm gonna try and do maybe Thursday evening. Still gonna determine a time. I'm gonna try and work on truly establishing a schedule so I can be consistent, try and build up viewers, subscribers, and hours.
This one is no threat.
Just put in the practice and the legwork. But yeah.
No, never mind.
So right now, so far, we've been introduced to Hina, the little girl, Simone, the town mayor and doctor, Captain Livia, who's the captain for Seed in this town, Priscilla, Lucy, and then of course my character, and also of course Mirakumo. Now one thing I wish that they would do with the series is truly fully voice all of the lines in it. I get it's a lot, but I think it would go a long way to have the series fully voiced. And just like with any game in which you're allowed to input your own name, you know, as usual, just like they usually do. Just keep the name out, but still voice pretty much all of the lines as much as possible.
If you don't have anywhere else to go, then I have some work for you. Our only active ranger is away at Seed headquarters, so we're a little understaffed.
So, I'm gonna tone back on some of the chatting for a little bit, so we can get through some of the beginning stuff, okay? So, just sit back and relax and enjoy the gameplay.
I don't know. Fending off a monster or two is one thing, but protecting a whole town? That's a lot.
Field Captain!
This character is absolutely adorable, though. Voiced by Zeno Robinson. And I think he nails this part pretty well. Fun fact.
There's a mystery afoot, Captain Livia!
He did actually try to audition for the male protagonist, Ares, but when they went with Robbie Damon for Ares, they figured he'd fit perfectly with this character, and so therefore,
It's not bad.
here we have Cecil, who's absolutely adorable. Not one of my chosen choices for a potential marriage candidate, but he's absolutely sweet.
Sheesh.
Come on, Lucy, hurry! We need to investigate the scene before it's compromised.
Right. Ah. Huh?
Okay, so got to move on to the next part of the tutorial, in which she mentions agricultural, so yep, on to farming.
That's so.
I love how the field is always a mess when we first get to it. Like, why? You'd have been alright, Priscilla. You're a precious being, but you'd have been alright. Because I had been playing the game, like I said, I imported. One thing you can do if you decide to get the game is you can hold down the A button as you collect stuff. Collect multiples of the same item. So I'm starting with sticks first. And okay, none left. So placing it in the shipping container. Leaves. This way you don't really have to run back and forth and do so much button pressing. Helps you to gather multiple things of the same item. So as you can see, as you're collecting more, they'll stack very visibly too. That's all the rocks. Into the container. Fried grass. Pick up, pick up, pick up. Now, been seeing all day, a lot of people weren't really happy with the way the camera angles or follows when it comes to the farming, because it'll switch to a certain mode. So you can go into the settings and adjust as you probably saw when it mentioned earlier, before we went downstairs, that you can adjust the camera. So some people will turn off the auto follow and turn off the farm camera, so it can just stay level with you. Since I've been playing it long enough, I've gotten used to it, but I can admit it's kind of annoying to have to use it this way. But it really depends. If I'm like trying to hurry through something and whatnot, and rushing, and sometimes it just angles a little awkwardly. So, pressing the L button, we get to go into farm tools, choose the hoe, cheap hoe. I'm going to keep this rather family oriented, not make the joke I wanted to make. Lovely eligible bachelors and bachelorettes, yeah. We just, like I said, as many as we possibly can. Just to save myself the effort from doing it later, when I get to take full control of the field, I'm gonna go ahead and not get as many plots as I possibly can. And then once I'm able to clear away the rest of the debris, once I get more tools, I can totally fill the plot with more spots. The one thing I do like is as you press, you can kind of auto progress as you're making plots on the field. So you can go in a straight line without having to worry about all the running back and forth. It's usually, obviously, easier when the field is totally clear. As much as I can. So, turnip seeds, which pretty basic, pretty standard, usually about the first crop you're ever going to get from whoever's teaching you how to farm in any of the games. So gotta go and equip those. So you use B to, but if you hold down B, you can fill up 4 plots at the same time. However many seeds you have on hand. Usually makes it easier, so again, you don't have to keep running back and forth between the plots and constantly button mashing. So, as I was just saying, she's explaining now, hold it down, you can put down multiple seeds over a wider area. Okay, so we've got the water pot now. So this is essentially like one of the last major parts of the farming tutorial. You get to go through, water your seeds.
I hope it comes out okay.
Or whatever empty plot is next to it.
I hope it comes out okay.
And just like when you're tilling, I can speak. When you're tilling the field,
We're big and
with the
strong,
hoe,
okay? We're big and strong, okay?
just press and you'll move in a straight line to the next available part. So that's done. And on that note, we're pretty much done with the farming tutorial. She's just reminding us that we must water the crops every morning because they dry out overnight. So, as she was some days it rains because you do have weather changes within the game, seasonal and whatnot. When it rains, it saves you time, especially if you've got multiple crops. You won't have to go around watering everything. The rain will pretty much take care of it. So it'll save you some time, especially if you want to go and particularly interact with certain villager, townsperson, whatever, or do something like off on a exploration mission, whatever. Okay, so she's gifted me more turnip seeds, so plant some more. We're done with that now. And for anyone who's watching who's already familiar with like Rune Factory 4 or any of the other Rune Factory games, Priscilla here is making note of whether we're an Earthmate or not. Slight spoiler for anyone who's new to it, but yeah, usually all protagonists in all of the games have been what are called Earthmates. Someone who's kind of very, very in tune with the earth and nature. So I like how there's like a little throwback to it and mentioning of it, but she adorably kind of calls it something different, which just kind of goes with her very precious being persona.